Hello and welcome to another video, and today's more of an opinion piece, and I felt that I needed to throw my 2 cents in on what's going on with the rumors surrounding a PlayStation 5 announcement in 2018. And we're going to be honest, I'm going to cut all the bullshit out and just straight tell you up, it's not happening. We're not getting a PlayStation 5 in 2018. There's just no way. The PlayStation 4 is the most successful console since the PS2 right now. It's making Sony just buckets of money constantly. This thing is selling like hotcakes, and it still is. And with a massive growing roster of exclusive first-party titles, that's only going to continue. We're on the hinges of God of War, and at the time of this recording, God of War is already a massive success in terms of its critical response, garnishing 9s and 10s everywhere, and the game is pretty much set to be another masterpiece in this PlayStation 4 generation that we currently are in. There's no benefit right now to Sony releasing a PlayStation 5 or even announcing a PlayStation 5 in 2018. It's just not time. It's not ready yet. And you know, despite what Microsoft is doing right now by, coming out and saying, hey, console generations are dead, we're going to keep doing iterative consoles, here's the Xbox One X, I think Sony is kind of in an interesting position right now. They put out the PS4 Pro. They were the first people to put it out the gate before the Xbox One X, and the PlayStation 4 Pro, don't get me wrong, it's a fine system that sometimes can do 4K, but more than less, it is a sub 4K machine when compared to the Xbox One X. Now, again, both of these consoles aren't perfect. Both of them do offer native 4K experiences. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's checkerboarded or downgraded from 4K. We're not at 4K capabilities yet. When this generation started, we could barely hit the resolution of 1080p. Let alone anything higher than that. So to try and push both of these consoles to 4K this quickly was kind of crazy when you think about it. So I think there's a lot of behind the scenes things going on right now. Does the PlayStation 5 exist? It most certainly does. Are they working on a PlayStation 5? Absolutely. Would they even talk about a PlayStation 5 in 2018? Highly doubtful. It just doesn't make a business sense right now when you have the hottest selling console in the market right now. It just doesn't make sense to upend that by announcing a new console. And you have to remember too, Microsoft has made huge waves with their backwards compatibility program. I mean, I own an Xbox One X now. It is a system that not only plays Xbox One games, it also plays Xbox 360 games and original Xbox games. Original Xbox games from 15 years ago. I can take that disc, put it in my Xbox One X, and it works. And I'm not saying that that's just a feature for the Xbox One X. It also works on the other Xbox Ones as well, be it if you have an original Xbox One or an Xbox One S model. However, it's been a huge thing for Microsoft. Sony, on the other end, they don't have backwards compatibility due to the PlayStation 3 having the Cell processor. That became a very, very hard thing to try and recreate on the PS4. They've had to rely on the Gaikai cloud services, and they created their own streaming service called PlayStation Now. And you've seen on this channel before, I've kind of shit on PlayStation Now, and my biggest problem with that service is that it's a streaming service, so there are latency issues there. You're never going to go and get the experience you would get by just popping a disc into a system and playing a game, because you have to rely on your internet connection being strong enough to stream that game, and even if so, it's always going to come down to a latency issue, and that's where I feel PlayStation Now falls short. Now, for PlayStation 5 to be successful and to be announced, it has to be backwards compatible with PS4 games. Now, in the system architecture that these two consoles are on, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, it is a lot easier to make iterative consoles and make things backwards compatible. So I do think that as we continue to go, games are going to just keep playing on these machines as systems keep coming out and are being released. However, right now, putting out a new PlayStation in 2018 and saying, hey, here's the PS5, here's PS5 games, but you can play all your old games, well, they could do that, and that could be a reality. It just doesn't seem like it's time. Another thing you have to factor in with Sony right now is that PlayStation VR is a huge thing for them. Now, PlayStation VR has done fine, it's moderately successful, it's selling units, and out of all of the VR out of all the VR gear in that space, the PlayStation VR is the most successful and the one that is selling the most. And that's good and that's awesome and I'm happy for them. And I think their focus at E3 this year is going to be announcing new exclusives for their platform. They're obviously going to talk about exclusives that haven't released yet, including Spider-Man, which just got a release date, Last of Us 2, and Days Gone, if anybody still cares about Days Gone. I don't know who you are if you care about Days Gone. I'm not one of those people, but I'm sure people out there exist that like Days Gone. So, PlayStation 5, I've seen the rumors, I've seen people talking about it, and again, does PlayStation 5 exist? Absolutely. The PlayStation 5 is most likely currently in development. I'm sure Microsoft is working on their next Xbox right now as we speak, but I still think we are at least 2 years away from either companies releasing a new platform. I think 2020 makes the most sense to release another system. And when Microsoft just put out the Xbox One X last fall, and Sony is bit more or less in about the 1.5 year mark with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it just doesn't make sense right now to announce a new console there. Now again, I could be totally wrong, and I might be kicking myself come E3 if they come out and say something. You know, nothing's ever really known until it happens. However, from my perspective and everything I see, there's no way a PlayStation 5 is coming out in 2018 or even being announced in 2018. It's just not going to happen. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this opinion piece. I hope I didn't rant or ramble on too long about other things and got off topic too much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, until next time.